So every day I seem to wear about 2 to 3 fragrances. I usually spray one on when I wake up in the morning. Whenever that one wanes, unless it was a really heavy fragrance, I'll wear one for the rest of the day. And then you also do wear one out of the shower. Whether you take a shower in the morning or at night, you always have an after the shower scent. And so today I wanted to talk about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of my favorite out of the shower scents that really are fresh, clean, and great ones if you just want to smell like you got out of the shower. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. So without further ado, let's get it. All right, my great smelling dudes, welcome back to my channel. My name is Randy, aka FragranceDoud. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff. And I forgot to mention this in my opening part of it, but today we are going to be doing 7 out of the shower scents that I find to be some of my favorites, fresh and clean fragrances that are also under $50. I forgot to mention that in my opening, but ones that are going to not only be fresh and clean, smell great, but you can also get them for a really good price. One of my favorite shower fragrances, if I was to do like an out of the shower fragrance without having a price in it, you can sometimes find this for a really good price, especially on Nude Parfums. But this is my favorite out of the shower fragrance, YSLY Eau de Toilette. This is the 2017 version. It's more aldehydic, a little bit sweeter. I like this better than the 2022 version, but that is my favorite out of the shower fragrance. If I was buying it on Nude Parfums, it could be on this list of under 50. But this is the kind you're looking for. Fresh, clean, a little bit aromatic, a little bit woody, just really nice. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about those ones that not only can you wear them to work, but it's more for out of the shower, going to the gym. You want to smell fresh, clean, and like a bar soap pretty much. None of them are really too soapy, but with that said, a lot of these fragrances, because they're less expensive and whatnot, they're not going to last as long, but usually for out of the shower fragrances, gym fragrances, you only need like 2 to 3 hour fragrances. So anyway, we're going to get straight into this list with one that came out last year. You can find this for 25 bucks on JOMASHOP. I will put the links for all of these fragrances if I can find them online down in the description, so definitely check them out. So this one is by Azzaro. It is Chrome Eau de Parfum. Chrome Eau de Parfum came out last year. It is an aromatic citrus fragrance through and through, mixed together with the chrome DNA underneath it, which is kind of that sweet aromatic fragrance. This fragrance is one of my favorite chromes. I thought it was my favorite chrome last year, but the more I wear it, I'd still say that I would put the original and the extreme over top of it. With that said, it is great for fresh out of the shower. It is clean, it is fresh. It has a blue feeling to it, but it reminds me of like a mix between two fragrances. Acqua di Gio Profondo Lights with that little bit of a green edge mixed together with the original chrome if you put it like underneath Acqua di Gio Profondo Lights. So just like Chrome Extreme is like Profondo or whatever, Profondo, this one is like Profondo Lights. It's a little bit lighter, a little bit airier. And then you put that together. This is great for out of the shower. It's also great to go to work. It's a great anytime scent. You can wear this all year round. And then it also is encompassed by the note of lavender. If you don't like lavender, don't worry. It's not too heavy of a lavender like some of the warmer fragrances like Le Male and stuff like that, where if you don't like lavender, don't worry about it, because the way that the citruses and the aromatics and the green tones in it, it really does make that lavender sit down a little bit more and not be as kind of almost like earthy aromatic tone. With that said, this is really good. Again, it has a little bit of sweetness and green tones behind it. It's one of my favorites if you're looking for fresh, clean, and green. That is Acqua di Gio. That is Azzaro's Chrome Eau de Parfum. I do get about 5 hours of performance on this. It's above average for an hour, and then it's moderate into a skin scent at hour 4, but still great performance as far as if you're looking for something that's 25 bucks. Azzaro usually doesn't go wrong with their fragrances. There's never like a bad one. I think there might be like one that was terrible, but the rest of them, they're pretty good. If you haven't tried the Chrome United, that one's really good too. It's a tea fragrance. Going into this one came out last year as well, and it was only released at TJ Maxx and Marshall's. It's a follow-up to one of my favorite rainy day fragrances, and this one is kind of like almost like Coach for Men-ish. This is Mont Blanc Starwalker Extreme. Starwalker Extreme, picture this. Coach for Men mixed with Jimmy Choo Man Intense. It kind of has that fruity aromatic tone. This one is encompassed by pineapple, some aromatics like lavender and clary sage. Mix that together with a little bit of apple. There's also some citruses in here. And then as you get to the dry down, you get a little bit of a warm woods, some creaminess. Overall, the fragrance is only it's about a 4-hour fragrance. But if you're looking for a nice random pull fragrance, something that is fresh, clean, but also has a fruit and woods to it. Again, it has aromatic tones. Aromatic tones are really going to come across just bringing that fresh, clean, semi-like soapy vibe, because a lot of soaps use lavender, geranium, stuff like that. Starwalker Extreme, I actually like this better than Starwalker because, again, if I'm comparing it to Coach for Men with a touch of Jimmy Choo Man Intense, which I'm not a huge fan of, but Coach for Men is one of my favorite random pull fragrances. This is kind of up that alley if you just dialed up the pineapple and a little bit of like a citrus tone. That's what you get with this, but it does really remind me of in that realm of Coach for Men. That is Starwalker Extreme. If you can find it, I got it for $22 at TJ Maxx. I heard there was a rumor that it was being discontinued, but I did see it at my TJ Maxx 2 days ago, so who the hell knows? All right, so now going into the third one. Out of all of these, this is probably going to be the one with the most wearability. This is compared a lot to Missoni Wave and Chanel Allure Homme. If you don't know where I'm going, then you probably haven't paid attention that much. This is Versace Pour Homme. This fragrance is going to be kind of like your sweet aromatic. It has some musk and tonka in the dry down. Starts out a bit citrusy, but not like zesty or anything like that. It is more fresh, clean linens, some aromatics in there. I know you get some of that hyacinth and cedar in there as well, but it's more as you get further into the fragrance. I would say about 15 to 20 minutes, you get a little touch of florals, but for the most part, it starts out with a citrus aromatic with a little sweetness undertone, and then it moves into more of like tonka, musk, and woods. Really nice, slight aromatic tone as the dry down comes in. This fragrance is really, really nice. I mean, it's exactly what you would expect to get from the other two. Missoni Wave, which is another cheapie. This one runs for about 30 bucks for this size. Missoni Wave runs for about the same price if you can find it at a rack store. And then you also have the Chanel Allure Homme Sport, which I don't recommend buying if you can get your hands on this or the other one. They're in that same realm. And again, they're a lot cheaper. Allure Homme Sport does have a little bit of its own twist, Chanel twist, but as far as luxurious, the amount of notes that come in and they come through non-synthetic, this one's probably going to be my favorite for the price. Versace Pour Homme, I just got this last year, a second bottle of it, because it was at Marshall's for like $28 in a pack. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with that price for a Versace. I mean, it's Versace. They're going to be one of the higher end designers, even if you can find it for that price. Again, as you get to the dry down, it's more of a creamy musk and sweetness together with a little bit of an aromatic tone and some woods, some cedar coming through there, and a slight floral edge. As far as the performance for this, again, I get about 4 to 5 hours. Most of these fragrances are going to be around that time. If you spray it on clothes, you can get through a whole workday. It is one of the best workday fragrances in my opinion. I think it is actually my favorite business fragrance, one that I can wear to work, whatnot, and it's very easy. You can spray a lot of it, and it's not going to be overly offensive. That is Versace Pour Homme. Moving into another one that is not going to really fit this bill as far as like fresh, clean out of the shower, but it is an anytime fragrance that I have loved to wear since I was in my 14 years old, I think, when it first came out. This is Hugo Boss Bottled. It is vanilla, plum, cinnamon, apple, mixed together with a nice creamy sandalwood, and that is what the fragrance is. This is one of the most mass appealing fragrances out there, even though the performance has changed drastically over the 20 years it's been out, 30 years. Boss Bottled, it starts out and it's apple throughout the entire fragrance. You get a slight touch of plum, which is where I was introduced to a little bit of plum, and I started loving that note very much. But it's mostly apple, sandalwood, musk, fruity tones on the outside, but it's not like a heavy apple like YEDP. It's more of like a warm apple. It does have freshness throughout, so this is one fragrance that could be considered a fall and winter fragrance, but because of the freshness, it is one of the most versatile freshies out there that can be worn in any season and has a warmth to it. I absolutely love it. Can't really go wrong with it outside of maybe the haters out there that just don't like Boss fragrances, because I know there's a lot of them. Anytime a new Boss fragrance is released, there's always the people who go on Fragrantica and put the poop emoji or whatnot, but Boss Bottled, creamy sandalwood mixed together with musk, apple, plum, really fantastic. A slight touch of cinnamon. It's warm and fresh. Really good. Going into this one's getting harder and harder to find. Thank God I found a new bottle whenever mine ran out, and I found it at MACYS. This one is one of the freshest, cleanest fragrances, and it has a bit of a vintagey vibe. It's a tonic water fragrance. This is Sean John 3am. So Sean John 3am, what's it all about? It's fresh, spicy tonic water. Literally, I think there is a note of tonic water in this fragrance, but it is musky, fresh. It has almost like a tea-like vibe to it. If you've smelled it, you know what I'm talking about. But there's a bit of a green tone from the fig leaf that comes in. It even provides a little bit of a fruitiness, but overall, this has a vintage musky smell to it, but it's clean, it's fresh, it's airy. It legit just smells like spruced up tonic water with a bubbly, effervescent feeling to it, and a little bit of this green, again, almost like the fig leaf almost comes across like a tea. I really, really like that. I always say that. I always say it's like a tea fragrance to me because that's what it comes off like. But this fragrance doesn't last very long. It has one of the best atomizers in the game, though. It only lasts like an hour and a half to 2 hours. It's one of the best out of the shower. It's so good, man. I mean, it does have a vintagey vibe. It smells like a fragrance that would have came out in like the 90s, 2000s, but this is like a 2015 fragrance, and it's just great. I hope they really didn't discontinue it, but if you can't find it, go to Macy's Backstage. That's usually where they do have them. Sean John 3am is next to none. I love that fragrance, and for the price that I got it for, you can't beat it. Going into the last two, this one is one that I haven't worn very much, and I found it in the back of my collection. It's an airy, peppery, and woody fragrance by Banana Republic. This is Metal Rain. So it does have a metallic vibe to it, but not as much as you would expect from the name Metal Rain. It has a slight ambery backbone, but for the most part, it's airy, it's peppery. It has a little slight bit of citrus in the opening, but this fragrance is kind of like what you would expect to if you remove the vanilla and added a lot of freshness to something like Bulgari's Man in Black. That's kind of, it doesn't smell like Man in Black. It's just what it comes off to me like, because it has that ambery, peppery vibe. It's also very woody and aromatic, but as you get to the dry down, the main part of this fragrance, and it gets there very quickly after about 5 to 10 minutes, it's just a slightly ambery, woody, peppery fragrance. That is what you get. It is fresh, clean, out of the shower. Even has a little bit of like an effervescent green tinge to it, but that's neither here or there. And just like Sean John 3am, it even feels like it has a slight floral tinge in the background, just adding a little bit of a spruce up to it. But Metal Rain is another one. 4 to 5 hours, but it's fresh, clean, out of the shower. You can't go wrong. My wife really likes this one. And you can find it at Burlington for what, like $28, $29, something like that, if not less. I mean, I think that a lot of people compare that to Silver Mountain Water, which I'm not the hugest fan of Silver Mountain Water. I can see where they would say that, but to me, it's Silver Mountain Water with a modernized twist. That is kind of what I get. Yeah, it's more ambery and fresh and modern than Silver Mountain Water, but I still do like Silver Mountain Water. Just I like that better. That's my personal opinion, and it's a lot cheaper. And now we're going to go into the last one. This is going to be a blue fragrance. I wanted to put a blue fragrance on this, and this won a bunch of awards when it was first released. The flanker that was released from it last year, nowhere near as good. It was called Aromatic Touch. This is Rochas L'Homme. Rochas L'Homme Very easy to explain. It's just kind of like a juniper and ambroxan heavy blue fragrance. Think of a blue fragrance, add a bit of juniper, and then the juniper comes in even a little bit more in the dry down. I'm spraying a lot of shit on me today. This is one of the easiest wears blue fragrances. If you don't like Versace Dylan Blue or Bulgari Atlantique that have like those amber and spicy blues that are fresh, this is going to be one of the freshest blues that are out there that maintains that blue feeling, that aromatic feeling, but then adding this fruity juniper at the top. You also do, I believe, get a little bit of pineapple mixed in there, and some blood orange at the opening. But for me, it's more juniper than anything. I know that the pineapple does come through a little bit, but Rochas L'Homme, I haven't talked about this fragrance since last year, so I'm a little bit fuzzy on it, but if I can remember correctly, there is blood orange or some kind of orange. I can't smell it too much right now because my throat's hurting, but very, very, very nice. And again, you can get this for like 20 bucks. I have the smaller size, and that's really all I need because, again, this just sat in the back of my collection. I wear it like 3 or 4 times a year because I have so many fragrances. But that is my 7. They are great for out of the shower. They are fresh. They are clean. Most of the time, again, I wear probably Boss Bottled, and these two are my most worn out of the shower fragrances. They're just very easy. They're very easy, and I've worn them for so long. It's just, I always go back to those. But if I were to add any more onto that, fresh, clean, out of the shower, green, whatever it might be, that's what you're looking for if you want to smell like a soapy, fresh, clean out of the shower. But let me know some of your favorites that are under $50. And again, I'll be back with another one. Thank you guys so much. Peace out.